serpent. Could anyone tell me about the serpent? Well, it's an animal that was the most intelligent animal, the most intelligent creature of all the beasts in the field. The Torah tells us that. Okay? It is extremely intelligent. 1. 2. The serpent had feet. It could walk. I don't know if you know this, but snakes to this day have the muscle structure under the skin for feet. They don't have feet. They don't use it for anything. It's there for a sign that there was once feet there. Any person who studies snakes knows this. A snake has under its skin, a snake on land crawls on its belly. That's how a snake moves. It doesn't need anything else. And it moves very well. But there are unneeded, unnecessary, under the skin structures for feet that aren't there. Every snake has this. So we're told in the Torah another thing about this creature, and that is, its number one was the most intelligent of all the animals, all the creatures in the field. 2, it could walk. 3, it could talk. Now I want you to stop and think. If I tell you that there's a creature that could walk, talk, have a conversation, and is highly intelligent, what does that creature sound like? Sounds like a human, doesn't it? What we really have is an animal, a creature, that has the features of a human being. It can walk, it can talk, it can think, and it can reason. Animals can't do that. A dog wants food, but it can't go and negotiate, and it can't do that. So what we really have in view is a creature, it's an animal, but it is basically very much like a human being. Okay, this is interesting now. What happened in the Torah immediately before the serpent tried to seduce Eve and to make her sin? Does anyone remember what happened right before? And most people don't. But if you go to the Torah where the serpent begins to try to get Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which was forbidden, do you know what the last event before that is? So the last thing that happened is something so strange. We are told by God in the Torah that the Almighty Adam was created alone, only one man. And the Almighty this is in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 and 20, that God brought all the animals in front of Adam. He looked at them. He saw their soul. He saw what their true nature is. And he said, he gave them a name according to their nature. He gave them the Hebrew names that we have. He looked at the animal, he said, okay, this is a dog. It's Kelev, which means all heart. Yes. But he realized that although he understood the nature of these animals, we can't get married. There's not going to be a relationship here. I cannot connect to them. They're all animal, no soul. And then he felt very, very alone. He was alone in the world. He had no one else. He had no one to love. He was He had no helpmate. And when he realized this, God put him into a sleep, and then from his body took a bone, took a part of his body, and created a woman that was just right for him. Isha, a woman. Okay, now I think you may start to figure out why the snake, the serpent, was not happy. Can anyone think of, now that we have the background, the story before the story, that first Adam rejects every animal, including the serpent, and says, "You're not for me." And then he finds the wife, and suddenly the serpent is not happy and wants to break up that relationship. Because the serpent is going, I mean, think about this. A serpent, we're talking about a creature that was intelligent, an animal that can walk, can have a conversation. It was the only other animal like that. That means if any animal had a chance to have a relationship with Adam, it was who? It was the serpent. But the serpent didn't have that soul. It couldn't connect with man. It, yes, could talk, intelligent, and walk, but didn't have that soul. That soul could only come from Adam. And therefore, the question, I think, is not how could God create an animal that had the ability to speak. As it turns out, if God created the heavens and the earth, he certainly could have created another creature that has the power of speech, and he did. But what we're more interested in is, why was it important that the serpent can speak? And what was the motive of the serpent? The motive of the serpent was to destroy this relationship between Adam and Eve, to destroy Eve by getting her to eat from a tree that was forbidden to her. And ultimately, the serpent was successful to some degree, of course. But ultimately, the serpent was lost all of its qualities, all of these powers. Today, it was cursed. It was told, you'll crawl on your belly, no more feet. We still have, you could see that it once had feet. All scientists will tell you, study snakes, you can look it up, you can study about it. No more talking, no more this ability. And in fact, you will never need me because you're just animal. You'll eat dust. Everything will be like dust to you. It may not seem like a curse because dust is everywhere, but you'll never need me. You'll never need a relationship.